Good evening and welcome to California Today. I'm David Lam, sitting in for Liang Zhang. Here's a preview of today's stories. The DOJ accidentally leaked personal information of thousands of gun owners after launching a dashboard a day before. People are expecting lawsuits coming. Meta is getting criticized for charging virtual reality app developers to put apps in app stores. One CEO thinks Meta is making a huge mistake. And 4th of July is coming up, which means fireworks galore. Fire officials are reminding people how to stay safe. A new dashboard from the California Attorney General's office has leaked the personal information of thousands of gun owners. The leak came less than a day after launching the dashboard, and some people are already considering lawsuits. Here's the story.
The California Department of Justice launched its 2022 Firearms Dashboard portal on Monday. But as the dashboard gained traction, reports of an information leak began circulating on social media. The portal featured data on the state's concealed carry license holders and gun purchases. But according to firearm news outlet The Reload, users quickly found that people's personal information could be downloaded from the graphics. This information included people's full names, home addresses, dates of birth, and permit issue dates. Although some personal information regarding concealed carry license holders can be obtained through public records requests. The dashboard's launch came just days after Attorney General Rob Bonta criticized last week's Supreme Court ruling against New York's limits on carrying concealed handguns.
While that is no longer constitutional, under the Bruin decision today, the court did not disturb California's longstanding efforts to prevent dangerous individuals from obtaining these permits. So in California, we're going to make it clear that an assessment of dangerousness is an essential element of the concealed carry application process.
Bonta said on Monday that the new dashboard improves transparency and information sharing for firearms-related data. However, The Reload reported that in Los Angeles County alone, over 2,000 people with standard licenses had their information compromised by the leak. The dashboard was reportedly pulled from the website on Tuesday. One organization now says a lawsuit may be coming. Chuck Michelle, president of California Rifle and Pistol Association, said in a statement, "Vindictive sore-loser bureaucrats have endangered people's lives and invited conflict by illegally releasing confidential private information. CRPA is working with several legislators and sheriffs to determine the extent of the damage caused by the DOJ's doxing of law-abiding gun owners. Litigation is likely." Meanwhile, Bonta's office said in a statement, "We're investigating an exposure of individuals' personal information connected to the DOJ's firearms dashboard. Any unauthorized release of personal information is unacceptable. We are working swiftly to address this situation and will provide additional information as soon as possible." As of Wednesday, the dashboard was still unavailable.
Two men from Washington were arrested and released in Tulare County last week. They allegedly carried 150,000 fentanyl pills.
25-year-old Jose Zendijas and 19-year-old Benito Madrigal were arrested during a routine drug traffic stop on Friday. According to the Tulare County Sheriff's Office, the two men had been carrying 150,000 fentanyl pills with an estimated street value of $750,000. In an update on Monday, the Sheriff's Office said they received a court order releasing both suspects from custody on their own recognizance. Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreau strongly disagrees with this decision, citing concern for the public's safety. He said that the justice system in California is failing and was infuriated when the court commissioner signed the release order. The sheriff said that the two men did not show up to their scheduled court date on Tuesday, and that detectives are currently trying to locate them. Earlier this year, the Drug Enforcement Administration issued a warning about the rise in fentanyl overdoses. And in 2021, there were over 71,000 deaths reported. Experts have said that this number is steadily increasing every year.
There are fresh signs of cost-cutting at Tesla. The car maker has reportedly shut an office in California and laid off about 200 employees. That's according to Reuters. Earlier this month, CEO Elon Musk said he had a, quote, super bad feeling about the U.S. economy. He said Tesla needed to cut staff numbers by about 10%. Later, he said that would mainly apply to salaried workers. But Reuters reports that most of those laid off were hourly workers. He says that workers had previously been told they would just be moved to a new location. Instead, they were let go after the office in San Mateo was shut altogether. Many staffers that worked there were helping to develop the autopilot software that allows Tesla cars to drive themselves. Tesla didn't comment on the news. Charges for putting apps in app stores are common, but virtual reality app developers have not been happy with Meta for adopting the same practice. NTD's Sean Marshall has more.
Virtual reality app developers don't like paying Meta 30% of every purchase made on the Oculus Quest. Several developers told the Financial Times of their frustration that Meta has insisted on a charging model for its VR app store, much because Meta chief Mark Zuckerberg has been strongly critical in the past of charging policies on existing mobile app stores.
So a lot of people are not going to need to kiss the ring of Facebook to actually participate and do stuff in the metaverse.
I spoke with Bob Bilbrook, the CEO of Capture, a company that develops business models for developing technologies. He thinks Meta is making a huge mistake.
The value is in the creation within the metaverse. You know what I mean? So these developers are actually bringing in the pieces that are going to make their metaverse or their piece of the metaverse even more valuable.
Bilbrook explained how he would do things as opposed to charging developers.
I would be giving away developer tools. I would be doing things that are going to constitute growth and quick growth, because the growth curve of the metaverse is huge. And I think a lot of these groups are already looking at the money side. I think you have to build the community before the money will be there. And you have to have the user base. And that's probably the biggest challenge they have right now.
Meta Reality Labs brought in $695 million in Q1 of 2022, with most of that coming from Quest 2 sales. This is up from $534 million in Q1 revenue in 2021. But until Microsoft, Sony, Apple, and other companies come out with competition, Meta is free to do as they please. Sean Marshall, NTD News.
Fireworks will soon light up the night sky as the nation celebrates Independence Day. But with high-powered, flammable, and explosive entertainment, naturally comes the risk of injury and fires. NTD's Jackie Rios spoke to a member of the Los Angeles County Fire Department about how to keep oneself and others safe.
The July 4th holiday is coming up, and everyone loves fireworks. But are they safe and are they legal? We talked to the LA County Fire Department to find out everything you need to know as you prepare to celebrate America's 246th birthday. Los Angeles is encouraging residents to stay safe this 4th of July by enjoying fireworks exclusively at public shows.
I think your best tip is to let the professionals handle it, because you have professional pyrotechnics that are trained to do this, to make sure you go home safe, and they also put on an amazing show.
Sheila Callagher is the first female PIO captain for the LA County Fire Department. She said that though fireworks are always fun, there's a lot of danger when playing with pyrotechnics burning at thousands of degrees.
You need to be a good neighbor. You need to look at the conditions around you. If you are surrounded by dry brush, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be lighting off fireworks on your own. And if the wind is blowing, it's even worse. So look at the wind, the temperature, and the low humidity. If those all line up, we are in a position to have a catastrophic event if somebody is irresponsible with their fireworks.
A 2021 United States Consumer Product Safety Commission report found that there was a 25% increase in fireworks injuries between 2006 and 2021. Around 11,500 people were treated at ERs for fireworks-related injuries.
Just the statistics last year on the damage of property damage for an errant bottle rocket or some other skybound firework that hits a palm tree and then lands into a house, the average damage to a home, $150,000 last year. So, and that was, probably about an $8 firework.
On top of damages, there are also injuries.
And across the nation, fireworks cause about 13,000 injuries every year, and those are just the reported ones, because even the safe and sane fireworks do not mean they're not dangerous. You look at it, just an average fun sparkler, and that'll get up to about 2,000 degrees.
The county fire department also asked people to be mindful of fireworks as they can negatively affect neighbors, family, and furry friends.
You know, when it comes to 4th of July, we really need to be good neighbors. We need to think about our kids, our pets, and our vets, because everybody's had a different experience, and those loud sounds and booms can really cause some traumatic issues for people that have PTSD. And, you know, we got to take care of our dogs, too.
Gallagher says it's best to leave the colorful evening sky shows to the professionals.
The ones you're buying out in the van out behind the store, you have no idea what's in them, so they can be incredibly dangerous.
The Los Angeles Police Department is hosting an illegal fireworks buyback program. People can turn in illegal fireworks without consequence and receive a gift card. The program runs in a Brand Park parking lot from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on July 2nd. At times, the country seems divided, but this is the one holiday, Independence Day, that can bring us all together. Happy birthday, America, and whatever your plans are for the 4th, please be safe. Jackie Rios, NTD News, Los Angeles.
Law enforcement have been cracking down on the fireworks. Over 1,000 pounds of fireworks were found in a home this week. Here's how much was found and the impact on the neighborhood. The Azusa Police Department evacuated homes in a neighborhood on Monday after authorities found illegal fireworks at a nearby residence, according to local PD. Police evacuated over a dozen homes on the 900 block of West Hollyvale Street in the afternoon. According to KTLA, authorities confiscated over 1,800 pounds of illegal fireworks from a van parked at the house. They sent in a bomb squad from the sheriff's department to render the materials. 7 hours later, Azusa PD said all residents were able to return around 10 p.m. Earlier in the day, authorities found more than 1,700 pounds of explosives in a storage unit in the county. In addition, equipment used for making explosives were also discovered inside the home. Police took one person into custody, but it's unclear whether the person lived at the home. CAL FIRE publishes an approved list of safe and sane fireworks online, stating that they may be sold from noon June 28th through July 6th each year. David Lamb, NTD News, California. Now, before we take a short break, here's a look at what's coming up next. A popular amusement park is closing down after a real estate company bought the land it's on. The park will close in 11 years. A Los Angeles real estate developer has been accused of bribery. He tried to accelerate a construction project downtown. And people notice the prices for the Orange County housing market are slowing down. Economists predict the prices will fall next June. That and more on California Today. A beloved Bay Area amusement park is shutting down after another company is buying its land. The park will start winding down after 11 years. Eileen Ang has the details.
California's Great America Amusement Park will be closing after 11 years. Cedar Fair, a company that owns and operates amusement parks and water parks, announced Monday that it sold the land to Prologis, a Bay Area-based logistics real estate company, for about $310 million with a lease agreement. The company will operate the park for up to 11 years before closing the amusement park, located in Silicon Valley's Santa Clara. In a statement, the Cedar Fair president said, "We chose Prologis as our partner because of their deep ties in the Bay Area and their reputation for working closely with local communities on large developments." According to the announcement, Cedar Fair intends to explore potential avenues to maximize the value of the company's extensive asset portfolio. It will use the money to reduce debt and invest in its portfolio, like upgrading resort properties and reinstating a sustainable unitholder distribution. Cedar Fair leased the land from the city of Santa Clara for over 40 years. In 2019, the company purchased the land from Santa Clara after the state of California dissolved redevelopment agencies to pay off debt. Eileen Ang, NTD News, California.
A real estate developer was found guilty earlier this week of paying a bribe in order to grease the wheels. He attempted to get a downtown condominium project up and running faster. Here are the details.
Dae-Young Lee was convicted on June 27th of bribery, honest services fraud, and obstruction for the payment of a $500,000 bribe. Lee was the first defendant to go on trial in the City Hall corruption scandal surrounding Los Angeles City Councilman Jose Huizar. Huizar's company faces a fine of $1.5 million as part of a pay-to-play scheme. Lee has been accused of paying the bribe to Huizar. Lee will face up to 40 years in federal prison for fraud and obstruction and up to 10 years for bribery. The verdict came just hours after the federal criminal jury began deliberating in downtown Los Angeles. Evidence at the trial showed Lee used Huizar's associate Justin Kim to transfer bags of cash. Within days, Huizar smoothed out a bureaucratic triangle that had halted proposed development from going forward. Defense attorney Ariel Newman argued that his client had been conned by Kim. He claimed Kim told the developer the cash was needed to pay administrative fees. Newman said in reference to Lee, he made the mistake of trusting the wrong person. David Lee did not knowingly or intentionally bribe anyone. He thought he was paying a consulting fee. Kim admitted to facilitating the payment from Lee and pleaded guilty to a federal bribery offense.
The EDD said they recovered a staggering $1 billion in fraudulent claims related to pandemic benefits. The COVID unemployment claims have reportedly been abused since 2020. The California Employment Development Department, EDD, announced in June that it recovered $1.1 billion in stolen unemployment benefits. The funds were located on approximately 780,000 inactivated benefit cards. The EDD recently found 47,000 potentially fraudulent claims worth up to $560 million. The state hired former United States Attorney McGregor Scott last July to help with investigations to combat fraud. Scott said in a statement, "We will continue working with law enforcement to put fraudsters behind bars and recover every stolen dollar that we can." Governor Gavin Newsom also promised to take aggressive action to return that money to taxpayers. EDD reported that in the past 15 months, more than 1,500 investigations were initiated, almost 500 individuals arrested, and nearly $3.5 million seized. The state has implemented measures to prevent and fight pandemic unemployment assistance fraud and identity theft. California rolled out ID.me, a new identity verification system, in 2020. The Emergency Federal Assistance Program has become a target of fraud not just in California but nationwide. Newsom's office said most of the recovered funds will return to the federal government. The Orange County housing market is slowing down as interest rates continue to climb. Economists from Chapman University expect the average price of homes in the county to drop by next June. Let's take a look at how much the expected drop will be.
Economists from Chapman University predict a 12% fall for Orange County's median home price in the next year. According to the university's recent semi-annual economic forecast, the average home price in OC will decrease from above $1 million to lower than $900,000 by next June. The economists say the rising interest rates will likely lower demand in the housing market, and less demand in theory means lower home prices. Raymond Sphere, an economics professor and researcher at Chapman University, expects the 30-year fixed mortgage rate to reach 6.5% by the end of this year. He believes it will go even higher in 2023. Sphere told the Epoch Times the price is going to be a little bit lower at the end of the year and the beginning of next year. That's a plus for the buyer, but if they wait that long, they're going to pay more in mortgage rate. He recommends potential homeowners who are paying with cash wait until the end of this year. Sphere says despite the rental market as being pretty bad, the labor market is very robust. He said many people are going to continue to have a job, and those who don't have one can find one easily these days because demand is so high for workers. The average job growth rate in Orange County is forecasted to be 5.1% this year.
Now to Entity's Thomas Christian for an update on sports.
I'm Thomas Christian, giving you the California Today Sports Roundup.
Dodgers outfielder Mookie Betts began baseball activities Wednesday, according to Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. He is making steady progress from his rib injury that he suffered earlier in June. Unfortunately, he will not be able to return by the end of this weekend like the Dodgers organization had originally hoped. But he won't be sidelined much longer than that. Current projections via rotowire.com have placed Betts' return around July 9. That means the five-time All-Star won't be ready by the start of LA's four-game series against the Chicago Cubs, but he could return for the last game or two. Betts is batting .273 so far in the 2022 season with 17 home runs, 40 RBIs to go along with 6 stolen bases. Tommy Fury said on Tuesday that he was barred at Heathrow Airport for boarding a plane bound for the United States for a press conference to promote his August 6th against YouTuber, boxer, and infamous Angelino, Jake Paul. Fury said officials at the airport told him that he knew the reason he was being denied entry into the United States. However, the 23-year-old Briton said he had no knowledge of why he may be denied entry. Fury added that he was shocked by what happened and that his team is working towards reaching a resolution. Paul's most valuable promotions said the press conference for the fight at New York's Madison Square Garden had been postponed due to Fury's inability to attend. Tommy Fury is the younger half-brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. The 25-year-old Paul is a YouTube celebrity turned boxer looking to make a name for himself inside the ring by fighting Fury, who will be his first professional boxing opponent. Ivica Zubac and the Los Angeles Clippers agreed to a 3-year, $33 million contract extension Wednesday. The 25-year-old big man from Bosnia and Herzegovina looks to be penciled in at the starting center spot for a loaded Clippers roster that, if healthy, will be looking to compete for a title next season. He's become a mainstay in Los Angeles' rotation with his excellent agility around the court for a man of his size. At 7 feet tall and 240 pounds, opposing players often think twice before driving when they see Zubac waiting for them in the paint. The former 2016 second-round pick averaged 10.3 points, 8.5 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 1 block, and 0.5 steals per game for LA last season, with each of those numbers being a career high for Zubac.
And that's all for the sports.
And thank you for tuning in. You can join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. If you have any news, tips, or ideas for a show, or you just want to let us know how we're doing, our email is california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Lamb, sitting in for Liang Jiang. Have a wonderful evening.